This scoundrel was busy complaining that his system starter pack hadn't included a beautiful girl, when a stunning woman literally fell out of the sky and landed in a position that left very little to the imagination. Jiang Cheng couldn't hide his look of concern. From that height, the important parts wouldn't get flattened, would they? But then, the very next moment he was desperately trying to get her to kill him. Our protagonist is Jiang Cheng Bro, and he has one life. But every time he dies and revives, there's no penalty. In fact, he gets a massive power boost. On top of that, random loot boxes, 10-pull gacha draws, rare treasures, and the ability to take on disciples and cultivate a whole harem of beautiful followers. Revered by tens of thousands, he's a transmigrator. He assumed, like every transmigrator before him, that he'd start with some kind of cheat code. The reality, zero cultivation, zero cheat, a broke, talentless loser on the verge of death. Sure enough, something was about to go spectacularly wrong. He died on the spot. Ding, host death detected. System activating. Cheng Bro was floored. He was already dead. What exactly was the point of activating now? Then the system informed him, one life granted. Upon each death, the host will revive within 1 minute, and a survival solution will be generated to help defeat the enemy. The system immediately began generating a survival solution, and rewarded Cheng Bro directly with the 3-realm pinnacle constitution, the imperishable eternal body. Starting now, no need to eat or drink. Unlimited lifespan. The abilities were absurdly good, but Cheng Bro stayed calm. He always knew there'd be a cheat. He just hadn't expected the system to be this annoying to work with. For now though, he was stuck at the bottom of a pit hundreds of meters deep, with smooth walls on every side and no way to climb out. Worse still, the cave and the surrounding area had not a single trace of spiritual energy. How was anyone supposed to cultivate here? The system was passive trigger type. To unlock more rewards, he'd have to die more. More deaths, more power. But to die, he'd have to bash himself against a wall. Then the system helpfully noted, self-inflicted deaths do not count for revival. Days passed. He couldn't die and he couldn't leave. All he could do was sit there and pick his nose. The more he thought about it, the more furious he got. He stood up, faced the sky, and extended the universal one-finger salute. Then he started complaining. He couldn't get out, couldn't get a starter pack, and they couldn't even throw in one girl to keep him company. He'd barely finished saying it when something above him started falling, rapidly growing larger in his field of vision. A girl actually fell down. She looked 16 or 17, with delicate features, fluttering lashes, and deep, luminous eyes that shimmered like still water. Cheng Bro could not contain his look of genuine concern. From that height, would the important parts get flattened? The girl picked herself up, caught him staring at a very specific part of her anatomy, and immediately drew her sword and pressed it to his throat. Cheng Bro was delighted. He started provoking her in every way he could. Sure, she was easy on the eyes, but Cheng Bro was a results-oriented man. Kill me fast, he urged. Kill me so I can level up. Ji Linghan stared at the young man in front of her, genuinely wondering if she'd heard him wrong. Then the system chimed in again, having someone else kill you or paying them to also doesn't count. Cheng Bro immediately spun around to explain. Misunderstanding. Don't kill me yet. He swore he'd never seen anyone this good looking. But for someone this handsome, there was clearly something wrong upstairs. Since the system won't let me go hunting for death myself, I'll just have to play the villain and give someone a reason to finish me off. Cheng Bro immediately stripped off his outer robe and made his move toward the girl. Please just kill me. Please just kill me. His internal chant was going at full speed. I'm a pervert. Come on. The girl didn't indulge him. She raised her sword. Take one more step and I'll actually cut you. He'd been flipping the sky the finger, wishing for a beautiful girl, and one had genuinely fallen out of the sky. Then the very next moment, he was asking her to stab him. Just then, voices rang out urgently from above the pit. Found her. She's right here. And 4 figures dropped down into the pit. Little pest. Let's see you run now. The leader was a woman whose face radiated the kind of vicious entitlement that came with being spoiled rotten. She addressed Ji Linghan with open contempt. Cheng Bro couldn't help noticing. He always ended up staring at the same place on people. Apparently at last year's 7-sect assembly, Ji Linghan had publicly humiliated this woman in front of everyone. Now she was here for revenge. Cheng Bro took one look at the situation. These women were definitely not the friendly type. They had to be Ji Linghan's enemies. Yao Yujuan, you cold-blooded snake. You're really going to wipe out me and everyone at Feishan sect just over this? The 3 men behind slowly moved to surround them, exchanging glances. Take their time, let them suffer first. Cheng Bro's eyes lit up. Wasn't this exactly the opportunity he'd been waiting for? He loved this type of villain. He stepped in front of the girl and addressed the group. We're all cultivators here. No need to fight amongst ourselves. I'd advise you all to reconsider, young friends. The woman sneered back. And who are you supposed to be? Mind your own business. Stay out of this. Cheng Bro opened his mouth without skipping a beat. I am the Supreme Ancient One, the Tai Chi True Lord, who once dominated the 3 realms thousands of years ago. I grew weary of the endless conflicts and chose to seal my power and live in seclusion here. Everyone went quiet. What? How did a lunatic end up in a desolate wasteland like this? The woman decided the lunatic was actually quite attractive and figured he'd make a decent trophy. She told her men to start the fight, but ordered them to leave the handsome one half alive. She wanted him. Chang Bro kept the performance going, proclaiming that youth and arrogance were a dangerous combination. Watch as he unleashed his signature move. Come on then. One of the male disciples had gotten annoyed at how good-looking Jiang Cheng was. He struck without further hesitation. Sword light flashed. Blood flew. Chang Bro had finally achieved his goal. He smiled, satisfied. Jiang Cheng collapsed into the pool of blood. Clean. Efficient. No drama whatsoever. Ji Linghan screamed, unable to believe her eyes. He just died? Didn't he just claim to be some legendary figure from 1,000 years ago? Shouldn't he at least have some kind of defense, even without his power? Honestly, when she'd seen that uncharacteristic confidence in Jiang Cheng's eyes earlier, she'd actually started to feel something like anticipation. Yao Yunxian looked at the body on the ground with mild disappointment. I told you to leave him half alive. How did he end up dead? At least the handsome face was still intact. Something to work with. Ji Linghan had seen enough. You monsters, he was just an idiot. You didn't have to kill him. Ding. Host has been killed. A cascade of system notifications filled Jiang Cheng's mind as his soul floated free. Enemy party of 4 analyzed. System generating solution. Copying the full combat power of GUSX's entire roster. Host revival imminent. Chang Bro shouted with pure joy. Die once, gain a life. Trust the system, live forever. The woman had turned back to Ji Linghan, eyes full of cruelty and gleeful anticipation. Then a voice cut through from behind. Ha! 3 useless lackeys and 1 smug idiot. Bold of you to try something here. He could feel his body flooding with spiritual power. Dense, overflowing as if he'd spent decades cultivating. Complete with battle instincts and combat experience. All of it felt completely natural. Not a trace of discomfort. Everyone flinched. Wait, the dead man just stood up? That must mean his story was true. He really can revive on the spot. Someone like that has to be on par with the divine. One of the men raised his weapon and yelled, "Parlor tricks! I'll cut you down again." 2 fingers pressed together. He murmured the moon-gazing heart method under his breath, produced a single sword strike, then made a flicking gesture and delivered a sharp head flick right to the man's skull. Old dragon strike. 1 flick, straight to the forehead. That little pea-brain didn't stand a chance. The woman recognized the technique immediately. That was her own GUSX internal method. Chang Bro didn't waste words. He stepped forward and dispatched the other 2 men in quick succession, then turned toward the woman with a deeply unsavory expression. She realized his techniques were beyond hers, and immediately started panicking. Suddenly a burst of golden light erupted ahead. A translucent figure materialized in front of Jiang Cheng, placing itself between them. The phantom was a middle-aged man in a Taoist robe, his furrowed brows radiating authority without a word. GUSX Grandmaster Yao Qilin. This was a fragment of Yao Qilin's divided soul, sealed into a talisman, placed there to protect his precious daughter. This man has 1 life, and each revival makes him considerably stronger. After his lackeys accidentally killed Jiang Cheng, she'd been planning to take advantage of his good looks, but Chang Bro revived, took out her lackeys, and was just about to do something about that, when her father's guardian soul fragment activated. She'd been terrified, but now with the soul fragment here, her confidence returned in a rush. Yao Yunxian suddenly had her backbone back. A divided soul from a true expert was not to be underestimated. Even without a physical body, it could deploy techniques far beyond the reach of ordinary cultivators. The surrounding air grew dense and heavy. Ji Linghan's face went white. She could barely stay upright. The old phantom didn't bother with words. He drove his sword directly at Chang Bro. Jiang Cheng looked at him the way you'd look at someone very slow. He'd copied Yao Qilin's full combat ability. Not even the original body could touch him, let alone a soul fragment. Chang Bro told him to get lost, and gave the old man a generous open-handed slap right across the face. Ji Linghan stood there absolutely frozen. He turned to look at the woman. Your turn. 1 more slap, and the woman joined her father's soul fragment in the afterlife. When it was time, it was time. Chang Bro wasn't in the mood for mercy toward women on this occasion. Once the fight was over, he immediately turned to looting, searching every body without the slightest embarrassment, patting them down thoroughly while Ji Linghan watched from nearby. Loot in hand is the only honest currency. Yao Yunxian hadn't been a poor girl. Her ring held over 3,000 mid-grade spirit stones, more than 500 high-grade ones, and over a dozen assorted talismans of various types. When he'd finally finished, Ji Linghan cautiously spoke up. That fool, no, ahem, honored senior. The cultivation method you used just now was from GUSX. You're not actually one of theirs. Are you? Ha! Laughable. I taught myself everything I know. Singing, dancing, rapping, basketball, all self-taught. Do I look like someone's lackey? He immediately resumed his air of unfathomable mystery. Ji Linghan actually believed it. She'd just witnessed her entire sect destroyed. She was wearing a look of desperate hope mixed with shame. And Jiang Cheng already knew what she wanted to ask. She wanted revenge. She wanted him to help. She was adorable, sure. But Chang Bro was not a good person. Wiping out an entire sect took serious firepower. He wasn't suicidal enough to charge headlong into that. He knew. Biting off more than you could chew was how you ended up as a cautionary tale. So he made his decision and turned to walk away. May fate bring us together again. The moment he turned around, a system chime rang in his head. It informed him that accepting system missions would dramatically accelerate his leveling. No more dying to grind power from scratch. Completing system missions would also generate large amounts of points, which could be used to upgrade the system or exchanged for rewards. He immediately opened the exchange panel. Good grief. The entire haul he just looted was worth roughly 4 points. Ji Linghan saw Chung Bro standing motionless and came over to check. Senior, I've heard that cultivators of advanced age can sometimes develop a certain condition of the mind. You wouldn't happen to. Who are you calling senile? What was I saying? Right, you want me to help you get justice, don't you? Yes. Chung Bro looked at her very specific area again and announced he had one condition. Ji Linghan's mind went immediately to the worst-case scenario. For the honor of her fallen brothers and sisters, for the sake of the sect. Was she supposed to just grit her teeth and go through with it? I know how it works. I understand. I'm prepared. Just please, don't make it too outrageous. Chung Bro was deeply alarmed. This was an industry standard? Is the cultivation world really this wild? I'll have you know I'm a person of integrity. What I want is to be your sect's grandmaster. Ji Linghan froze. What kind of power move was this? Facian sect had already been wiped out. What was the point of being its grandmaster now? What was there even to gain? On top of that, for sects were hunting every surviving Facian member, claiming that identity was asking for trouble. He saw her surprise and doubled down. Not doable? Fine. Then we're done here. Goodbye. Seeing the senior about to leave again, Ji Linghan chased after him. I agree. Facian sect's first true disciple Ji Linghan pays respects to the new grandmaster. System chime. Mission completed. 500 points rewarded. Another notification. Recruitment mission completed. Her constitution was rated quite exceptional, triggering an additional 3,000-point reward for Chung Bro. Chung Bro didn't think twice. With that many points, time to upgrade. System successfully upgraded to level 2. Now grants 2 revivals per day. Also newly unlocked. The Gacha loot box. Each draw costs 1,000 points. He felt the spirit of a seasoned high roller possess him. Win big, build an empire. Lose everything, start over. The system automatically played a lucky tune as the gacha wheel began to spin. The beautiful girl had just lost her entire sect and wanted Chung Bro to help avenge them. But Chung Bro had been too busy staring at her important areas before stating his condition. She assumed he was going to propose something completely inappropriate. For the sake of avenging her sect, she braced herself and said, I understand. I'm ready. Just please don't go too far. His actual condition. He wanted to be her grandmaster. After unlocking the mission point system, Chung Bro immediately dropped 1,000 on a gacha pull. The system announced he'd drawn perception, and Chung Bro was already puzzling over what that even meant. Perception activated automatically, immediately scanning the surrounding area for hidden treasure. Suddenly, far in the distance, a massive surge of treasure energy erupted upward. Ji Linghan saw Chung Bro moving and thought he was abandoning her. Wait here. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna go buy some oranges. He left her completely baffled. Their grandmaster spoke in profound riddles that no one could decipher. An instant later Chung Bro had arrived at the treasure's location. System. Can you tell me what this thing I just detected is? A system notification chimed and immediately deducted 500 points from him. It then informed him this was a world heart shard, along with its complete data profile. Chung Bro's brain completely stalled. Asking one question cost me 500 points. He wasn't going to waste words. He rolled up his sleeves and started punching the earth. He'd punched about 10 meters deep when a column of rainbow light erupted into the sky. It blazed straight up into the clouds, flooding the entire cave with blinding brilliance. Something stirred underground. He looked down, heard a massive bang. An explosion detonated directly beneath his feet, and that was the end of Chung Bro. As his soul floated out of his body, Chung Bro was deeply impressed with himself. Who knew you could die just from digging for treasure? This world was genuinely too dangerous. The system detected death and the panel displayed cause of death. It then granted him a new ability to attract and bond the world heart shard to himself. Then a small figure was slapping mud onto his face and repeatedly calling him Mama. He thought, wait, wasn't this supposed to be a world heart shard? Why is it a little girl? The system panel told him this was the world heart shard's post-bonding form, and deducted another 500 points for the privilege of that information. Chung Bro immediately began correcting her. Don't call me Mama. It sounds weird. Call me Dad. A short while later, Ji Linghan spotted the brilliant column of light and came running. Congratulations, Grandmaster. He now considered Jiang Cheng one of his own. A Grandmaster who could secure a treasure like this. That was real cause for celebration. He saw Jiang Cheng as a genuine ally. For a Grandmaster to have obtained such a treasure was a great triumph for them all. Chung Bro pointed at the little girl and said, You're a little scattered, not the sharpest tool. You should study with this big sister. So she bounced over to Ji Linghan, and the moment she looked into her eyes, a flash of gold blazed in her pupils. Ji Linghan collapsed to the ground unconscious. Hey, what are you doing? No randomly attacking allies. The little girl smiled sweetly and shook her head. I just extracted knowledge from her memory. She only passed out because her divine sense is too weak to handle it. So you now know everything she knows, right? Give me something useful then. This is the Winds Ever Wastes in the northeast corner of Qinglan Prefecture, Feiyun Province. The prefecture has 8 minor factions and 2 major ones. Feishan sect is one of the 8 minor ones. The 2 major powers are the Qiri sect and the Duanmu clan. Before she could finish, Chang Bro cut her off. Okay, that's enough. My head's already spinning. Here's what you need to remember. I'm male. Call me Dad from now on. Got it. Since you're my daughter now, I'm giving you a name. From today, you're De Huang. De Huang was clearly unhappy with this. Chang Bro said, change it to Dad, and I'll change your name. Fine. De Huang it is. But you're still Mama and that's final. Are you seriously ready to blow yourself up rather than say Dad? At that moment a voice boomed from above. Nya Chu. You're the one who killed my daughter? Chang Bro's heart dropped. He'd already used both revivals for the day. If they killed him now, there was no coming back. He'd barely taken on a little lowly as a daughter and now she was already being asked to deal with his enemies. Sure enough, Yao Qilin himself descended with 2 companions, closing the distance fast. Chang Bro's expression darkened. His revival cooldown was spent. He frantically asked the system what to do. The system cheerfully informed him his information subscription had expired. He reluctantly renewed it. The system then told him, if killed with no revivals remaining, the system transfers to the next host. 1,000 points deducted. Well, with only Yao Qilin alone he might be able to toy with him, but the problem was he'd brought 2 helpers. Elder Yao, hold on. I have a few questions first. At the crucial moment, the other 2 elders physically restrained Yao Qilin. Young man, did you witness a column of light rising from here just now? Tell us the truth and we let you walk away with your life. De Huang's awakening had made too much noise. Chang Bro thought, these 2 old foxes definitely aren't letting me leave. But maybe I can run a play on them and buy time to escape. Just need to grab these 2 idiots and go while I'm at it. Both of these silly girls were coming with him. Chang Bro spoke without hesitation, pointing in a random direction. A 7-colored phoenix flew off that way. The 2 elders immediately told Yao Qilin, your vendetta can wait. The 2 of us will go investigate. And Yao Qilin, the moment he heard treasure, forgot all about revenge. Bury the grudge for now, money first. Let's all 3 of us go check it out. The 3 of them immediately started bickering amongst themselves. De Huang suddenly announced in a loud, clear voice, what 7-colored phoenix? That light just now was me. Chang Bro's blood ran cold. We're done. All 3 elders realized they'd been played. Weapons out. Coming for Chang Bro. De Huang pointed at the 3 of them. Mama. Are those old glow sticks trying to kill us? De Huang was angry. Jiang Chang almost punched himself. How had he forgotten? This little girl was a walking weapon of mass destruction. De Huang, blast them. But De Huang was bound by the laws of heaven. She couldn't kill indiscriminately. Chang Bro had run out of patience. You had no problem killing me. I didn't see you holding back then. De Huang scrambled to explain. That was an accident. Then just have another accident and accidentally hit all 3 of them. Problem solved. De Huang said coldly, I'm not shameless like Mama. But what I can do is suppress their cultivation and reduce them to ordinary people. De Huang raised her hand and cast. Henshin, become pigs. The 3 elders drew their weapons and charged forward. Then they realized all their spiritual power had vanished. Maybe it was some effect of the terrain. They barely had time to process that before all 3 nearly popped their eyeballs out. This kid still had full spiritual power, and he was using their sect's own secret sword art. One massive strike. In you go! And all 3 elders were threaded onto a single spike. Chang Bro looked at them philosophically. A cultivator's whole life spent chasing power and glory, and what do you take with you when you die? The only thing I can do for you now is take everything you have so you can leave this world with no regrets. This fight had been even easier than the one in the cave. Without their cultivation they hadn't lasted one exchange. Those 3 weren't long elders for nothing. Their rings held 10 times more spirit stones than Yao Yunxian. De Huang came running on her little legs shouting Mama, and grabbed his shirt front. I'm cold. Chang Bro looked down at his own considerable chest. I don't have milk. This man dies and comes back every time, each revival stronger than the last. He'd just taken on a once-in-a-generation beauty as his disciple, and then turned the world heart's fragment-turned little girl into his daughter. After the fight, De Huang was hanging off his collar. Chang Bro maintained he had no milk. De Huang almost fell over, giving him a look of profound pity. I want spirit stones. Chang Bro dumped out the entire haul he just looted onto the ground. She could manipulate spiritual energy. Spirit stones as nutrition made sense. For his daughter, he could afford to be generous. Just then Ji Linghan finally came around. Grandmaster. What happened to me? I blacked out. Probably low blood sugar. My daughter just saved you. We'll call it even. Ji Linghan had no idea what blood sugar was, but he'd just woken up and was confused enough to let it go. Then his attention shifted to the 3 bodies on the ground. All 3 were split-soul realm masters, and the Grandmaster had taken them down alone. That impossible revelation fed Jiang Cheng's performative side to the fullest. Every instinct for dramatic effect was thoroughly satisfied. A showman sees a show through completely, He asked Ji Linghan where Feishan sect was and announced they were going to retake it. He turned around and found a Huang on the ground, round and stuffed, dead asleep. His revives were spent for the day and the big weapon was sleeping. Going anywhere right now was asking to die. He called a rest stop and said they'd move out later. Ji Linghan had no idea the Grandmaster was just waiting for his cooldown to reset. They found shelter in a deep forest nearby. When Jiang Chang settled cross-legged to rest, he finally felt the true power of the imperishable eternal body. He hadn't even begun to run his cultivation technique, and spiritual energy was already flowing into his body on its own. Ji Linghan's jaw dropped. Cultivating like this was like having a direct pipeline to the world's finest spirit stones. The implications were staggering. De Huang complained, "Mama, you're absorbing all the spiritual energy. How are we supposed to cultivate?" Chang Bro's expression immediately went sly. "Well then, little Linghan, why don't you cultivate alongside your Grandmaster? If we dual cultivate, we can share the spiritual energy, probably." Somehow the Grandmaster felt less and less respectable by the minute. Cut to the Feishan sect grounds, now a field of corpses. A figure appeared and frantically waved. "Is that Senior Sister Ji? Senior Sister Ji is alive?" Ji Linghan nearly wept with joy as she rushed toward them. "You're alive too? Thank heavens." Shortly after, more than 20 Feishan survivors emerged from the surrounding forest. When they saw each other, they fell into each other's arms and wept. Besides the 21 disciples, one elder Liang had also barely survived. He was the de facto leader of the survivors. "Master passed the 9 absolute sword to me before he fell. Not avenging him would be a betrayal of his trust. This is what Master sent with me when he saved me. Spirit stones and elixirs. Once I reach the Seal Soul realm, I swear I will avenge him." The other disciples, hearing their fallen companions mourned, each made their own vow. Elder Liang let his eyes drift over their storage rings and spirit swords, a flash of greed crossing his face and gone. "If you want revenge, you don't have to wait. Can happen right now. I have a close friendship with the second elder of the Duanmu clan. With them on our side, dealing with that rabble would be trivial. Just give me your valuables. I'll go recruit the right people." Everyone looked down at their rings and spirit weapons. They understood what he meant. He wanted them as tribute. De Huang cut in, "Mama, this old dog is even more shameless than you." Elder Liang pressed his advantage, piling on the persuasion. "What, unwilling to part with a storage ring? You'd let your fallen master down over something so small? It seems your master misjudged the lot of you. A pack of ungrateful wretches." That kind of moral hammer was hard to resist. Everyone started pulling out their valuables. Just then Ji Linghan stepped in to stop them. "Martial uncle, actually, we don't need the Duanmu clan to get revenge." Ji Linghan introduced Jiang Chang to the group. "This is Feishan sect's new grandmaster. He will avenge us." Elder Liang immediately stiffened. "I'm still here. Who authorized anyone to name a new grandmaster? That's my position to fill, not yours." Chang Bro stepped forward in front of Ji Linghan. "The enemy occupying your sect. I cleaned that up already. I'll be leading the charge." And internally, "Perfect, this is just an experience and points farming opportunity." He charged ahead carrying the hopes of the entire group on his back. His newly recruited disciple, a stunning girl, watched from below, full of admiration. Then someone one-shot him. Everyone assumed he was just some useless nobody who'd wandered in. Then the next moment he revived at full power with his cultivation upgraded. Chang Bro led the group back to Feishan sect to find the 4 sects still stripping the place. Everyone was outraged. They'd even peeled the paint off the walls. Jiang Chang charged forward under everyone's expectant stares. He announced himself immediately. "I am the new Grandmaster of Feishan sect. Put everything down." His skull is solid iron. He must have a death wish. The 4 sects people skipped the small talk and came at him. Chang Bro cracked a confident grin. "Come on then." His followers took one look at that expression and thought, "This is already decided." Because he died so fast, they were genuinely startled. That easy? Wasn't he supposed to be incredibly powerful? Thought he was some legendary figure. Turns out he's just trash. The system notified him. Due to the extreme power gap, a Tier 1 Celestial Tribulation Lightning is being arranged. Host revival imminent. When Tribulation Lightning descended, everything under heaven's authority turned to ash. As the thunder rolled, Chang Bro revived in a blaze of dramatic effect. "Vermin, prepare to receive the full weight of my wrath." The lightning tribulation didn't require him to actively channel it. It triggered automatically. But a rare moment for showboating had to be seized. In the distance, Ji Linghan was overjoyed. More excited than if she'd broken through herself. Chang Bro slowly raised his left hand and began improvising a performance. Lightning techniques weren't uncommon, but what happened next left everyone speechless. He swung his left hand down and over 100 crimson lightning bolts rained from the sky simultaneously. The 4 sects people, who'd been standing there with an overwhelming numerical advantage, were reduced to ash. Not even dust remained. Every disciple broke out in identical expressions of pure awe. Jiang Cheng's goal was achieved. That one move cemented his absolute, unshakable authority in the hearts of every disciple present. System notification. Acquired numerous followers. Rewarded 355 points. Current total, 1355. He noted with mild annoyance that this entire group combined had earned him fewer points than Ji Linghan alone. He turned around and walked over to Elder Liang for a spot of leisurely mockery. So, old man, do I or do I not have what it takes to be Grandmaster? Elder Liang's internal calculation was simple. Can't beat him, so join him. His strength wasn't bad either. Might as well ride this wave for a while. He immediately began pouring compliments onto Chung Bro. Ji Linghan shot Chung Bro a significant look from the side. Chung Bro turned and launched into a rousing speech, then declared a small objective. Ji Linghan assumed it was something about rebuilding the sect. De Huang assumed Mama's small objective definitely involved buying snacks. Then Chung Bro extended one finger and declared in 4 words, destroy all 4 sections. Chung Bro led his newly recruited disciple and his devastatingly powerful daughter De Huang to go avenge the girl's destroyed sect. As expected, the enemy one-shot him immediately. But Chung Bro was the protagonist with a system, and each death gave him a customized comeback plan. This time the system called down heavenly lightning and obliterated the opposition. Chung Bro got his glory moment, and he naturally became Feishan sect's new grandmaster. First order of business: revenge. Destroy all 4 sects. His first target was GUS sect. He told the disciples to wait here while he handled it. The disciples immediately pumped themselves up and demanded to go with him. Ji Linghan gave another one of her inspiring speeches. Tears everywhere. Only Chung Bro understood the truth. He needed to die in order to gain power. Everyone who went along would just be going to die alongside him. These people really did love to fill in the blanks. Elder Liang then jumped in, insisting he wished to accompany the Grandmaster. The disciples saw Elder Liang offering to go and were even more moved. Then Chung Bro immediately agreed to take Elder Liang along. No hesitation. De Huang could see exactly where this was going. That old man was about to be used as a human prop. Elder Liang, reading Chung Bro's confidence, thought, this is in the bag. Tag along, score a victory, and build a reputation in the sect for life. Back at GUS sect, 7 elders' life tablets all shattered simultaneously, meaning all 7 were dead at the same time. 7 tablets breaking at once meant they'd been killed in the same instant. That was something none of them had ever heard of. Even a Lingtai realm expert from the Duanmu clan couldn't one-shot 7 split-soul realm elders. And with the Cheery sect watching, they couldn't afford rash moves. While everyone was debating, a thunderclap split the sky. Chung Bro made his entrance, with Elder Liang right behind him. Elder Liang, emboldened by his big Grandmaster backer, immediately started running his mouth. The Jiwa crowd was not in the mood for it and drew their weapons. In the next second, you're like a pair of chopsticks blowing me away. My heart feels like it's been stabbed, crashing down hard. Love at the cliff's edge. Who would willingly accept the deepest pain? The revival window was around 10 seconds, enough time for the assembled crowd to kill Elder Liang 10 times over. The system then informed him his generated solution was a summoning talisman. Chung Bro could not contain himself. You're not boosting my power? You're making me call someone in? Seriously? After reviving, he saw the crowd still surrounding Elder Liang, beating the life out of him. Holy! This guy came back to life? Doesn't matter, kill him again. Jiang Chung wasn't about to give them the chance. He had the talisman in hand, and crushed it without thinking. Son of a... Who? Chung Bro had marched into someone else's house with 2 elders to pose. The next second he was turned into a pincushion. The system's solution this time: a deity summoning talisman for a demon woman. Meanwhile, at the Heaven Demon Prison's Tiger Mountain, the sound of earth-shaking impacts rang out constantly. An extraordinarily beautiful woman, the Twin Rabbit Demon Queen, one of the 12 Demon Kings of Heaven Demon Prison. At that moment, the 3-eyed Tiger King was under relentless assault from the Twin Rabbit. This kind of thing happened roughly every 100 years. Each time they had no choice but to pack up and lie low. Nothing to be done about it. She was simply outclassed. She was the top predator in this territory several tiers above them. The rabbit kept taunting. 3 eyes. You think you can play with women? Get out here and fight. Inside, a tiger-headed beast was in the middle of a game. He could hear the shouting outside. He wasn't even slightly concerned. This little tiger was the Tiger King's most trusted subordinate. The young master was indolent and unmotivated. Among the 12 Demon Kings, his ranking kept slipping. The previous Tiger King had been ranked 2nd among the 12, only behind the Golden Dragon King. Now the new 3-eyed tiger had slid all the way to dead last. If not for the royal bloodline he'd inherited, he might have lost his Demon King title entirely. Even the formerly bottom-ranked Twin Rabbit dared to show up and pick a fight. Then suddenly, above the bed, a golden magical formation materialized out of nowhere. Had the Twin Rabbit broken through? Tiger King spun and screamed, "Get the back door open!" The seal on this place was set by the previous Tiger King himself. Only the Golden Dragon King and the Battle Monkey King. Nothing else should be able to punch through it. Then the 3-eyed tiger's massive body was caught by the formation, and vanished right before his subordinate's eyes. At GUS Sect, Jiang Chang had crushed the summoning talisman, and pulled this Demon King through. The 3-eyed tiger let out a roar. His blood-striped maw opened wide. "You little punk! Summoning me for what exactly? Everyone had assumed this terrifying tiger demon was Jiang Cheng's backup. Now they could see clearly not. Then a bolt of heavenly lightning descended and detonated at the Tiger King's feet. Tiger King reeled. Heavenly lightning of the sun. I've got a summoning contract with this brat. If I hurt him, that lightning obliterates me. People nearby started taunting, calling in some pathetic little demon. Think that scares anyone? Being called little by anyone was not something a demon king tolerated. All three eyes went wide as he wheeled toward them. The crowd realized, wait, this is actually a demon king. Before anyone could react, one light's what sent them to meet their ancestors. The three-eyed tiger was considered weak in Heaven Demon Prison, but that was relative to the 12 demon kings. Against the mortal world, this was pure dimensional domination. Chongbro looked at the busy little tiger and wanted to suggest they team up. Carry me, please. Tiger King was not interested. He had a pack of rabbit girls to go take care of back home. Where even is this? Upon learning it was Feiyun province, Tiger King's expression soured magnificently. How far did your stupid talisman fling me? You little, don't you dare summon me again. With that warning delivered, Tiger King launched himself skyward and flew home. While looting the bodies, he felt something strange underfoot. He leaned in for a closer look. Turned out there was a spiritual vein directly below GUSX. System notification. Grade 2 spiritual vein can be contributed to system. Converts to 10 wishes in the gacha draw. Confirm. Drain that vein dry today. The three-eyed tiger, one of the 12 demon kings, had been having a fine time. A teleportation formation suddenly appeared above his bed. He'd been ripped straight out of his bedroom. Left with no choice, he'd helped the protagonist into GUSX, then headed straight home. When Chongbro looted afterward, he found the spiritual vein. He traded the vein to the system for a 10-pull. Drawn. Tier 9 Spirit Garment, Lanyu Celestial Robe. Blocks all attacks from below the 9th layer of the Heaven-Ordained Realm. Also drawn. Teleportation Tome. Randomly teleports to any location within a radius of 10,000 li. First pull, 2 legendary grade items. Chongbro's luck was absolutely obscene. 2 full hours after he had left, some wandering cultivators finally dared to sneak into the GUSX grounds to investigate. Looking for information. What they found when they went in nearly made them wet themselves. GUSX, completely annihilated. They rushed to the treasure vault, empty as a drum. Whoever did this left neither the goods nor the dust they came in. True professionals. Back on his flying sword, Chongbro sneezed, no idea who was talking about him. The moment he appeared back at base, every disciple swarmed out to meet him. They'd only known each other a day, but to say it plainly, Jiang Chang was now the center of gravity for everyone here. Chongbro began performing his grief. Though we have avenged our enemies, Elder Liang was surrounded and beaten to death. Everyone burst into tears. Then Chongbro pivoted sharply. For the sake of our sect, for Elder Liang, we must cultivate harder than ever. Louder. I can't hear you. That quiet, and you think you can avenge anyone? The disciples responded in a thunderous, full-energy chorus. Chongbro made one large, sweeping gesture. Spirit stones and spirit artifacts scattered across the ground from his storage. Every pair of eyes went wide in disbelief. No one knew what Grandmaster was about to do. Chongbro told them simply, open shop. Take what you want. 0% off. Free for all. No one could believe this was real. Before, to receive a spirit weapon, they'd needed exceptional merit or top performance in a sect tournament. And even then, the highest they'd ever received was Tier 3. Every item on the ground was Tier 4 and above. What cultivator, given the chance, could remain unmoved by better weapons and armor? They dove in with barely contained enthusiasm. A red-haired beauty held a Tier 4 cold steel sword, usually reserved for elders, and felt a warmth flooding through her entire body. Chongbro interrupted and told her this one wasn't for her. The beauty immediately dropped the sword and apologized for getting carried away. Chongbro produced a far more spectacular sword and walked it over. She recognized it. This was GUSX's crown treasure. A Tier 6 spirit sword. Qingya. Disciple does not dare. A treasure of this caliber should belong to the Grandmaster. Chongbro casually replied, take this big precious sword from me. Don't worry. Just grip it firmly. He tossed a spirit armor to Luo Yuan as well. The pair were now willing to walk through fire for him without a second thought. Both were deeply moved and on the verge of tears. Ji Linghan found herself thinking, so I'm not actually special to Grandmaster. Was I just imagining things? Then Chongbro immediately called her over. He held out the Tier 9 celestial robe he'd just drawn from the gacha. Put this on. Not that I want to see. I just think good things should go to good people. Quickly, go put it on. Show your Grandmaster. Go to your room and change. I absolutely will not be peeking through the door. And no extra layers underneath. Every time this degenerate died, the system boosted his power so he could beat his opponent. He'd just drawn a Tier 9 celestial robe in a gacha pull and immediately rushed to make his female disciple try it on for his viewing pleasure. Before long, Ji Linghan emerged. Translucent wisps of ethereal light swirling around her. An otherworldly presence that seemed to drift in and out of reality. Ji Linghan protested. This is too precious. I really can't accept it. As Grandmaster, this is the kind of treasure you yourself should wear. Jiang Chang had no objection to parting with it. He revived constantly and never needed armor. Besides, it was a women's cut. Rare spirit armor of this caliber was extraordinarily scarce. The elders of various sects, regardless of gender, who acquired armor in the wrong cut, either swapped with each other or wore it underneath. The mental image of male elders in women's spirit armor made Changbro profoundly unsettled. But speaking of which, hadn't the spiritual vein just been drained? Why did the spiritual energy feel denser than ever? How was that possible? Ji Linghan smiled sweetly at this. That's all thanks to Grandmaster's daughter. Jiang Cheng blinked. De Huang did that? Ji Linghan still couldn't quite believe it herself. A severed spiritual vein reconnected was something completely unheard of. Not only had she repaired it, she'd upgraded it from grade 2 to grade 3. Only Changbro knew the truth about De Huang. But even he hadn't expected her to reshape the terrain itself. At that moment De Huang was resting atop the spiritual vein. She heard his voice. Mama! Mama! A figure came flying out from inside the vein, like a heat-seeking missile, and buried itself in his chest. Jiang Cheng asked, "Did you upgrade the vein's grade?" De Huang tilted her head back, big sparkling eyes saying, "Praise me." Changbro gave her head an approving pat, told her she'd done well, and then produced a large bag of snacks as her reward. That day Changbro called a full assembly in the main hall. He said he'd keep it brief, and then spoke for as long as a school sports day ceremony. Discipling Xiaoxue was dozing off when Jiang Cheng suddenly called out her name. She jolted awake and jumped to her feet. Changbro told her, "You are hereby appointed Chief Financial Officer. You will manage all sect finances, and I'm giving you a horse." Xiaoxue hadn't processed it yet. Managing sect finances, did that mean she'd basically just reached the peak of the sect overnight? Next he appointed Luo Yuan as Director of General Affairs, handling all miscellaneous sect matters. Luo Yuan thought, "The Grandmaster is making me his right-hand man." Finally he called Ji Linghan and told her, "You are CEO. When I'm away, you have full authority over every matter in the sect. Let us move forward together and build toward glory. Understood?" Round of applause. Understood. Applause. They clapped until their palms smoked. Arrangements made. The rest of you keep the home base while I go settle things with Shenbing sect and Wulei sect personally. The next day he flew out toward Shenbing sect. No teleportation talisman this time. He only had one per day and needed to conserve it. 2 hours later he arrived at the Shenbing sect's mountain gate. Unlike before, he was recognized the moment he appeared. "Look, that's Jiang Cheng. He's the one who destroyed GUS sect yesterday. Might have been him, might not. But there's definitely a connection." "Humph, Jiang Cheng. I'm calling out whoever's behind you. Show yourself and I'll spare your life. As for me, I've never acted on anyone else's orders in my life. Not even bald guys? Are you seriously performing right now? Your cultivation is barely Split Soul Realm 6. You think that's enough to wipe out GUS sect?" Changbro skipped the speeches. "Prepare to die." "Ah, wait. I mean, give me death." The bald crew heard that and exchanged looks. This guy had completely lost the plot. "Do not let him die." All 7 elders simultaneously attacked Jiang Cheng, deploying Shenbing sect's signature Frost Celestial Prison Formation, and encasing Changbro in a solid orb of ice. Inside the orb Changbro started feeling lonely. Then a beam of energy slammed down from the heavens, obliterating the ice ball and Changbro inside it in an instant. Even as a soul floating free, Changbro was fuming about such undignified treatment. The system panel announced, due to the extreme power gap, the generated solution was another summoning talisman. Changbro felt a strange sense of déjà vu. Wasn't this exactly what happened last time? At that moment, 9,000 li away, the Tiger King was sprinting home, still furious from being yanked out the last time. The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. That little punk summoned me and didn't even give me a return ticket. I'll be flying home until the year of the monkey at this rate. He was still mid-rant when the exact same teleportation formation appeared right in front of him. "I've been flying for a day and a night. Do not summon me again. I just flew for a full day and a night. Are you kidding me?" Explicit sound. "Fine. I'll endure." As they say, when feuds are resolved, more friends and more paths open. Let bygones be bygones. "Fine. I'll endure again. Grandmaster, let's not joke around. Sit down and calmly discuss the advantages of our arrangement." "Son of a..." "Kill him." Rewind to 4 hours earlier. Changbro, summoning talisman in hand, had once again been revived at full power. Everyone stared. He'd been shredded to nothing a second ago. How is he standing there without a scratch? Changbro immediately deployed the talisman, yanking Tiger King right off his journey home. "You've got some nerve. It's you again." The three-eyed tiger materialized and, instead of attacking Shenbing sect first, turned and roared directly at Jiang Cheng. A full day and a night of flying, and then a portal dragged him back to square one. Then a bolt of heavenly lightning descended behind him, the summoning bond's enforcement. He couldn't touch Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng cheerfully told him, "Big bro, if it's too much hassle coming and going, just stay with us." With no other option, the unwilling Tiger King helped clear the obstacle in front of them. He could read Jiang Cheng perfectly. This reckless kid had forced him into freelance work, and now wanted to keep him on as permanent unpaid labor. Shenbing sect collectively lost the plot. "A great demon in Feiyun province. Activate the formation. Fast." Changbro helpfully told them from behind, Their formation was really something. The three-eyed tiger said flatly, "Open your eyes wide. I am not a great demon. I am a demon king." Xianbing sect hit the Tiger King with the Frost Celestial Prison formation anyway. "You little punk. When someone asks for a favor you don't backseat them. Understand?" Right, you do you. My bad. Hell yeah. Tiger God. Keep going. Little tigers got it. You little punk. I'm warning you. Do not summon me again. Do you have any idea how far I have to fly every time you do this? If not for the summoning bond's backlash threat, Tiger King would have shown him exactly how many syllables the word miserable contained. Watching Tiger King bolt away like he was fleeing for his life, Chang Bro looked wistful, like a hopeless romantic turned down by their crush. By then his score had hit 5,800 points from farming all afternoon. Leveling up was actually pretty manageable once you got the rhythm down. He arrived at Wulei sect to find them already in full battle formation. He'd flown over without a teleportation talisman. Another 2 hours on the road. Wulei sect had already learned through their message talismans that Xianbing sect had been wiped out. They were taking this very seriously. They watched Zhang Chang posturing in the air above and started screaming abuse at him, then activated their grand sect formation. The sect master privately thought, "Who raised these absolute lunatics?" Xianbing sect had activated its own formation, and still didn't escape. He didn't need to guess. This guy clearly had something terrifying in reserve. Once the battle started, Wulei sect's outcome would be no different. The powerful sect master stepped forward and took it upon himself to model conflict resolution. "Grandmaster Jiang, your desire for revenge is completely understandable. As they say, fine, I'll endure. When grudges are forgiven, more friends and more paths open. Let the past stay in the past. Fine, I'll endure again. Grandmaster Jiang, no more jokes. Sit down with me and let's calmly discuss the advantages here. Son of a, kill him." Faced with over 7,000 disciples attacking simultaneously, Zhang Chang didn't manage a single syllable before being reduced to scatterdash. Thousands of li away, at Ziyuan holy grounds, the place had erupted into chaos. This was a holy site with tens of thousands of years of history. In foundation and power it dwarfed Faxian sect by countless magnitudes. Their elder, the true venerable, had been sent flying and coughing blood by a single strike. Centuries of cultivation. Against an enemy of this caliber, Ziyuan Holy Grounds was in genuine crisis. The Tiger King this time chose not to fly home. He was using the Holy Grounds teleportation formation instead. But these little idiots attacked him the moment they saw him. Tiger King exhaled deeply. This nightmare was finally almost over. He was nearly home, and then, from his system, came that familiar, cheerful little ding.